Alright, g'day, hi and welcome. Alright, let's have a look at this beautiful Mapex kit. My Mapex Armory limited edition Anaconda Burst kit. Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going, microphone? Sorry, my SM57 is running amok on me. So I must put him up here. So I'm just going to do like a 1 month review. I just did a 1 month play. I didn't realize it was a month today. My, how time flies. It feels like I just brought this thing into the house yesterday and lost all the room in my room, because it pretty much takes up my entire room. I'm sitting on my base. I shouldn't sit on my base. What does it sound like? It didn't transfer. I thought the low end would transfer, but I guess it doesn't. Make sure I don't hit any of my poor guitars. There's Maximus, or Vicious, Mr. Vicious Maximus Shreddius right there. What an awesome guitar that is. I had to do my first kind of sign of minor repair on it yesterday, but anyway, that doesn't matter. So 1 month of playing. I've arranged the kit about 1 million times. There's fingerprints all over my darn kit. I don't know why. But I can sit here and just stare at this thing for hours. And look, 1 month later, the tom is right side up. The floor tom is right side up. So yeah, let's recap. So I got the thing home. I set up the floor tom upside down. You guys had a good laugh about that. I really didn't realize it's the way they set the legs in there. They set them the other way, and I didn't think anything of it. I didn't realize I was playing the thing upside down. I've got my drum dial tuner. This kit seems to hold tuning fairly well. It's out a little bit. I can hear a little bit of a wave, but for the most part, these the skins haven't really stretched that much. The snare seems to be rock solid tuning wise, from lug to lug. So I haven't done the tuning yet. I was going to try it this week, but I decided not to, and just wait till it's out of tune, because like with these heads, and something I'd love to hear from you guys, for metal, is the 2-ply heads better? What's the best skins? I know what's the best loaded question. I know but what is a good recommendation? This is better. Instead of what's the best, what's a great recommendation for low tuning skins? Like if money was no expense versus if you had say a moderate expense versus what's the cheapest you can get. So 3 levels of skins that you would say would work best for metal, for low end tuning, as low as you can get, so you can get your drums a little bit lower. Whatever is double ply better than single ply? I got to do a little more research on that, but I'd like to hear like some of you metal drummers. What do you, what do you guys like? What am I doing for time? Oh, lots of time. So I've learned a lot. I've been working on my 40 fundamentals. I think I'm at fundamental 11. But there's like subcategories of the fundamentals, so I'm not really sure where I might be at 11 or 15. I'm not sure. Fundamentals. Using the isolation headphones, or those are just regular construction headphones, or earmuffs, ear protectors, really, really helps. So I'm able to really crank away on it. I'm going to have to upgrade my metronomes for sure, or until I can get good isolation headphones where I can hear properly the metronome. So I do got to do a lot more work with the metronome there. That's a given. But 1 month in, I think I've got my ergonomics. My hands are not hurting. I am using the heavier sticks predominantly. I tend to like the heavier sticks for some things, but I find the heavier sticks are easier to get to bounce, but they're heavier sticks, right? So, you got to watch your wrist moves. So I'm, practicing the Muller technique. The footwork is obviously what takes the most. So you can see in my last video, I was kind of messing around with the foot, like trying to do 3 beats on this and 2 on the hi-hat. Like 3 and 3 is fine, but 3 on this and 2 on that, like dun, 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 tss, tss, is so kick you in the butt. There was a jazz drummer said, here, try this one will kick you in the butt. But I understand right from the get-go, it's the same with guitars or anything. Like if you want to sound awesome on the guitars, you really have to get your legatos down and your sweep picking. Those are the 2 things that really, really set guitar players apart for the shredding. And string skipping and stuff like that is also part of it. But it's those legatos, which I've, right from the get-go, like the Steve Vai, like legatos, I've always been practicing stuff like that. And then, of course, the arpeggio stuff, most of my life, I haven't really put enough effort on like technical arpeggios, right? And I wish I would have, would have, should have, could have, right? But I wish I would have. If I were to learn the guitar over again, I would have probably tried to nail that a little bit earlier on. Instead, I just kind of did the pentatonic dad rocker kind of stuff, with a little bit of Flash Van Halen, Nuno, Randy Rhoads stuff a bit, like that kind of playing. I should have probably tried to expand my horizons, because when you get good at something and then you're like, okay, I'm good at this, so I'll just keep doing this, right? But in the last past, particularly since 2019, I've been really trying to expand my neoclassical sounds and stuff like that. I almost don't play pentatonic at all. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. But what I'm getting at is that if I was to learn the guitar over again, there's approaches I would take differently but that's the thing, like considering I'm Gen X, there's a lot of things you won't be aware of until you've played for a while. But if you're a new player, right, there's things, okay, yeah, learn this learn intervals right from the get-go. Even before you worry about scales, learn your freaking intervals. Intervals and cadences. If you learn those two things, you'll become a phenomenal songwriter. So let's move back to the drums. This is another instrument. So again, got my mandolin, got one of my mini violins, got my bass. Okay, I got a ukulele around here. So 2 ukuleles. That's my nephew's. I bought it from him, but he doesn't see the word he wanted. I got acoustic guitars, electric guitars. I know the room's a mess, but anyway. And this is just my newest edition of instruments. So right from the get-go, I'm like, okay, well, what are the advanced players playing? Okay, they're playing this. How did they get there? And that's kind of how I'm approaching the drums is, well, first off, everybody, all the professionals say, look, guys can't play drums anymore because bad ergonomics. So my ergonomics fit me fairly well. My feet are extremely relaxed. A lot of people think my bass drum's too far out, but it's not. Like, you can hear me going, I'm flat-footed. I'm not toe up. And the reason why is because I don't ever want my foot to lift. I just want it to go back to a natural relaxed state. Like I just want to always be pushing down. I don't want to ever have to lift my foot up. And I find when I'm like this, I'm starting to arch my foot up, which is more strain on your ankle, right? So the idea is to play as relaxed as possible. And it's the same for guitar as it is for the drums. The more relaxed, the less repetitive injuries you're going to get, et cetera, et cetera. Getting the stick to do most of the work rather than trying to death grip the thing. And again, I've already talked to many drummers that can't, not many, but a few drummers that they can't play drums anymore because as soon as they start, my hand, the carpal tunnel kicks over and, the repetitive injury stuff. So I do understand that it is a very physical instrument, right? And to be able to be like 95 years old and say, hey, I've been playing drums since I was 5 and I feel good after I play my drums. I don't feel like stiff or tension or anything like that. Stretching, I got to stretch a little bit more. A lot of the real speed drummer guys are always saying, stretch first. Do all your stretches first. Get loose and limber before you even do anything so nothing tenses up on you. Now, that said, am I ready to play like a 3-hour gig? No. It's like the bass. I could probably do, say, half an hour, 45 minutes. An hour I would be able to do, but I would be pretty burnt at the end of the hour. Just because I'm not there yet, you know what I mean? But you can hear me doing different techniques. I love my triangle. I found that the day I brought the drum kit home, I found that in the house. I have no idea where it came from. It was just like, I guess, a gift. It's like, hey, I just noticed there was a triangle sitting there. It's like, I like it, ding. So more cymbals and stuff like that is on the way. So I am trying to keep both feet moving as much as possible. A lot of people have commented on my hi-hats being why I had them so open at first. Well, it depends what sounds I'm going for. If I'm going for like that scoopy sound or whatever versus the chick sound, that gives me the chick sound. But if I'd like to have, I don't know if it exists. I know there's clutches that you can get for the hi-hats that will leave them all closed and you hit it and it'll grab it again, whatever. But I'd like to have one that was like a 2-stage. So you can have your hi-hats open like that much so you get that, right? But you can't play fast when it's really open. And then the second one, you can put it so you can get fast with the foot, right? But it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to compromise, right? And other than that, I do like the set of the drums right now. Yes, that tom is always going to be the where the hell do you put it kind of tom, but it does sound good. The bass drum is it's a beast. I do have mine sitting directly on the floor. I don't have it up a bit. I don't have anything in there. It's just a big sound cannon right now. It is a pretty cool bass drum. My next drum kit will probably have a 20-inch bass drum, just for ease of use, but it might be a long time before I ever get another drum kit, because this is my first drum kit. Yes, I know. Most people don't start with a $1,300 shell pack. You know what I mean? But I'm glad I spent the money, guys. Well, I'm still spending the money because I got to basically pay for it. What am I doing here? Well, I'll just let the video go over. I still got to pay it off, right? So my first down payment on this thing was $650, a little bit less than that, but we'll say $650. My first monthly payment is like $240, a little bit less than that, but we'll round up to $240. And I actually did okay for March. I actually made a little bit extra money in March, so I just sold a chainsaw the other day, so I'll be able to put at least $500 down on the kit. Now, mind you, I'm still paying for the remainder of the 2 Mark Holcomb guitars, or we'll say a Mark Holcomb and a half guitar. So I still probably got it. I had $2,100 left on the 2 Holcomb guitars this time last month, right? Still to pay. So if I divide my payment into 2, that would be